Is Alan Stewart, and we're here with Richie Havens. Richie, how you doing?
My pleasure.
Nice to meet you. And Kevin Sands. How you doing? Sanders, I'm sorry. Okay. There I am with the mic already. We talked about this earlier with passing in the mic, and I'm doing it already. Now, gentlemen, you both, we talked for a couple minutes about this new show called Changemakers. Tell our viewers something about it. Kevin?
Well, it is, as the title suggests, a program 2-hour, 4 times a year special that features portraits. Each time, each 2 hours, 6 different people in, 6 very different fields. We're seeking for variety. It's a sort of salad of different kinds of people and different kinds of activities who, the common theme is that what they are doing is bringing about change or heralding change or pointing to changes that will be resonant and will have an impact on the way we live in the future, in the next year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years.
So, say like entrepreneurs in all fields and people that are in musicians, sports, just a little bit of everybody, right? You're not going to center on one or focus on one.
No, we have entertainers and inventors and writers and ecologists and people whose activities are at the forefront of change today in all areas.
And Richie, you're the host of this program, right? Along with Kevin, who is the co-host. Tell us who is the first people on your first show that you look at?
We have quite a few people. We have a young fellow who is an inventor. He invented what we call MIDI drum suit.
A MIDI? What's a MIDI?
MIDI is an electronic ability to manipulate information, digital information. And digital information can be today anything. It could be music, it could be to access picture or to access lights, or you can actually...
So he literally plays his suit, is that correct?
That's correct. He plays his suit, and he changes things. I mean, this is a big change in terms of breakthrough and in terms of manipulation of information. That's really the technological breakthrough there.
Does he play any of your songs on his suit then?
Yeah, he has. He has actually attempted to play "Here Comes the Sun" for me at one point. He didn't do it as good as that, but he did try.
He did try. So, how did you come up with this idea?
Oh, I know. We have to go back some years ago, literally several years ago, when Richie and I discovered through a mutual friend that we were both thinking about the same sort of thing, which is that there was a need for TV to be a little bit more concerned, not just with what has happened, but what are the implications of what's happened, the implications for future. And we developed our own a production entity called WFTV, which started working on plans for programs about the future. And from that effort has emerged now Changemakers and Countdown to 2000 as the kind of flagship programs, our initial programs on the future, which for example, the Countdown to 2000 program culminates in a program called Millennium, which is a long-term...
what's Millennium for our viewers?
Millennium is a program, a 24-hour special for January 1st, 2001.
Okay.
And that's an event. That's a profound event, an opportunity to actually celebrate a new millennium. Only once every 1,000 years do people have that opportunity. So
that's why I haven't heard about it, because once every 1,000 years.
That's right. It happens every 1,000 years, and so we think it should be exploited, if that's the appropriate word. Certainly something that we should sort of jump up and down and celebrate, and that's what we intend to do, including a live segment from space.
A live segment from space, okay.
Well, space is going to be a very, as Isaac Asimov in our Changemakers program, as Isaac Asimov has often said, one of the most important changes for the human species of this century is the fact that we are leaving the home planet. We are going into space. So it seems appropriate.
And do a live segment or most of the show up there?
Yeah, a large part of it.
That's TV. You know, if you can find a place to do it live, they'll do it. I mean, now you're going to space to do it. Richie, I just want to talk a little bit about your musical career, which is a great one, I think. And you were there with Woodstock, which is a big event in itself.
It actually was part of a big change back then. I think mostly in communications and consciousness. We learned a lot in that era. We learned a lot about ourselves, about the world. We actually opened up to include the world here in America. We actually did, didn't we?
You did. Let me ask you if there was one feeling or one thought that you would want the people of that era and to know about Woodstock, or even the people reading in the history books, what would it be?
It would be that we actually did accomplish changing the entire world's approach to itself and to the people on it. That in fact it was a subtle celebration of the first global-minded generation born on the planet, as far as I can see, and they also were born in America. And they affected young people the same age to realize that, yes, we are, in fact, one world, one globe. And was the predecessor to things like Live Aid, to things like Amnesty International.
It was the granddaddy of all those, yeah.
That's right.
Well, Richie, if we have just a few seconds left. If we can get up and do a duet, we'll finish this interview out. No, Richie,
I'll tell you.
Good luck with the shows.
Okay.
I hope everything goes well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. That's it. We'll be back in just a few seconds.